There is a space in my heart where I find the truth. I find me in you, a truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. See with new eyes, allow and unfold, embrace and let go, trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out. Slowly feel all that's around you. All that you feel, all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, we unite. Yeah, yeah, when we unite. Yeah, yeah, welcome here. Love is welcome here. Peace is welcome here. You are welcome here.
Welcome. Welcome, welcome. 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 It worked. How wonderful. I was doing a little experiment to see whether or not I could whisper and sing you guys into the circle. And look at that, it worked. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Ocala, this wonderful space where we gather and learn and grow together and love on each other. I am filled today, very, very full, because of this community and the outpouring of love yesterday not just at the funeral for our foster child, but also the celebration and drum circle. How many people were at the drum circle last night? You guys, we were using that energy, and the storm rolled in, and I have video of the clouds and the lightning behind us as we are drumming, and I'm telling you, it was such a healing moment for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. From his family to you, thank you. We just feel the love. And for those who are like out there, who are still studying this, still part of our community, online people, hey, how y'all doing? Not just today, people watching right now, but people watching later on. 10 years, 50 years, 1,000,000 years from now, they're going to be hearing these words and feeling hope. And the vibration and love that emanates from this space will just wash over them. And I love that because I'm a part of it. And so are you, so yay. And how many people are here for the very first time, never been in these doors? Wow. Wow. That is incredible. It's the most interesting thing. Like, people come and they like different things. And so that's why we like to have different things, because we all learn differently, right? And we grow differently. So you're definitely welcome here. You could be anywhere else, but here you sit. So thank you so much for being here. Just a little bit about who we are, especially for those who are new. Our vision here is that we're a model center for spiritual living, as evidenced by the transformational impact we have in our spiritual community, the CSL organization, and the larger community, the world at large. We do want to make sure that we are a good source of hope and love in the world. Our mission, this is how we do it. We empower individuals to awaken to the power and presence that lies within them and all around them, not just here, but all around you, so you may live your very best lives. How many people want to step from a space of faith and love and not fear and despair? This is how we can do it, when you can see it here and you can see it out here, even in the midst of seeming chaos and crazy. We step in faith and love. I love that. And our values here is a community. I invite you to say them after me with lots of enthusiasm if it rings true for you. So, spiritual growth and practice.
Spiritual growth and practice.
Love.
Love.
Appreciation.
Appreciation.
Community.
Community.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Creativity.
Creativity.
Health and wholeness.
Health and wholeness.
Generosity.
Generosity.
Financial well-being.
Financial well-being.
Thank you so much. And I love that we picked those as a community. And we keep saying that we're going to be doing this again, but we are going to be doing it's coming up in the pipeline. But today, in our circle format, we're hitting several of these values. We're hitting on the spiritual growth and practice, because we're all growing every time we gather, right? Appreciation when we share our stories. We are in community. The freedom to be seen, all of you seen and loved, and just acknowledged for the essence that you are. Health for your body then is the outcome. Wholeness, that feeling of I'm okay, just the way I am. And that steps into love, and you can come from that space of generosity then, because your cup is overflowing, like mine today. Yeah. So this year we are talking about, this is the overall theme for the year, beyond surviving to thriving. I know that a lot of us came through 2020, especially that COVID experience, like, I just want to survive. I want to survive this thing. I know that that was what we were thinking in the midst of it, working it. But now we invite us to thrive, not just survive, thrive. And how are we doing that? We're picking every single month a different way to hone in on these experiences. And this month for July, we're talking about affirmative prayer. I believe that affirmative prayer, spiritual mind treatment is what we call it in Centers for Spiritual Living and in the Science of Mind, is actually the flagship thing that made me stay here. I tried it. It worked for me. I tried it again. It worked again. I was like, ooh, I like this way better than the old way that I used to pray. The old way just felt like a lot of begging and begging and begging. And after a while, it's exhausting, well, especially when you don't see a result. But I love that just lining up my vibration. We're saying, I'm lining up my vibration to the thing that I want. How did that work? And it works through these steps. It just works. The acknowledgement of the lands is if we were going to do a drum blessing, but we will always acknowledge the land that we sit on, those indigenous tribes that came before us. So let's talk about what is the science of mind. It is a practical study. You're tired, right? It was a lot of dancing yesterday. Well, let's just send Karen lots of love. She was shaking and shimmying a lot. And her body is telling her things today. Yeah. It is, no, don't be, oh, honey. Oh, I love you, honey. Lots of love raining down upon you. It was. So the science of mind is a practical study of consciousness and truth principles from scientific, philosophical, psychological, and spiritual perspectives. We believe that God is everywhere. All of it's God. All of it's here for us. It empowers individuals to maximize their human potential. It is based on the principle that consciousness is the source and substance of all that is. We are one with that consciousness and use it to create our experience of life. We are always creating with spirit. You're always creating. You're either creating by default or with intention. So right now, you're creating carbon dioxide. It's your default mechanism. And that's okay. But me creating with intention would be if I hyperoxygenated my body. Let's say, for example, I'm going through something like, I don't know, a health challenge that requires my oxygen to come up. I'm going to take intentional deep breaths. Now I'm co-creating. And I'm blowing off the CO2 to lower that CO2 in the body. I'm co-creating with spirit now, not just by default. And that's what we invite you to do in this teaching. So before we go into why circle, I'm going to introduce somebody that is a sister in my heart and a soul sister, Christina with a K. And Christina is a vital part of our community here because she is not only a council member, she's vice president on the council, she is also practicing student of the science of mind, taking classes and things like that. She is a mental health therapist that has been working in that field, helping children and family really unbox some really difficult stuff, you know, so lots of love raining down on your head as well.
Thank you.
She is also the team lead, which is the voice of our welcome team. So if you ever hear about us talking about team, we're a collaborative community here. We like that we plug our essences into different teams, and then we work on the sidelines. So this beautiful thing that you see is as a result of all our teams that come in and set up chairs and welcome people and put out things and print up stuff. And Christina is the team lead for Welcome. And I just wanted to introduce you and just give you lots of love as you take us into the circle.
Thank you, Donna, my soul sister. It's so great to see everybody here, every bright, shiny faces. This building, this place, this is my second home. I've been here for 10 years, and every year it gets better. And we had that, like Donna said, the thing through COVID for a little bit, everything kind of waned down, and it was all online, and it didn't feel the same. But through that, we got to create the new structure with the more hands-on, the more one-on-one that we have today that apparently is working, because here you are. And again, like she said, thank you for being here, because we know you could be home asleep. We know you could be still napping in your bed, but thank you for joining us. And we believe that's because you're meant to be here. There's a reason that you're here this morning. That's not chance. It's not coincidence. It's happening for a reason, like everything else. So, why circle? Circles provide structure and process for conversations that foster mutual respect, emotional literacy, empathy, problem solving, accountability, self-regulation, self-awareness, and shared leadership. Now, can anybody maybe volunteer, raise their hand, what they think is special about circles, sitting in a circle, or just shout it out? We all get to see each other. It's a sacred symbol. No end, no beginning. Ooh, container for raising vibration. I like that. It's a symbol, as John said, it's a symbol of wholeness, of unity, of being one. There's no hierarchy. Everybody's at the same level. We're sharing the power, and everyone's opinions and thoughts are valued. So that's why we do this. What Circle is not for, it's not for lecturing each other. It's not for a bunch of extra discussion outside of the topic. It's not to try to persuade anyone else to your point of view. And it's not for berating somebody or for taking the time to put them in their place and tell them what you think. And it's definitely not therapy. Although it may feel very therapeutic, it's not therapy. So we want to listen, but not spend a whole lot of time. We don't want to tell people, oh, I think you should do this. I think you should do this. That's not what it's for. It's not for giving advice. It's just to hear each other and have all the different points of view that you get when you come into Circle. So these are the guidelines. We want to ask everyone to show mutual respect. We want to maintain confidentiality. People sometimes in these intimate circles may say intimate things about themselves, and we want to make sure that we keep that in this sacred space that it is. If somebody says something that you think is so like enlightening, eye-opening that you'd like to share it, then ask the person. But other than that, obviously, we want to respect what happens in the circle stays in the circle. We will talk about our takeaways. We'll talk about what we learned from it, but we don't want to speak of personal experiences. We want to embody the brave space. That's, this isn't everybody doesn't want to speak up in front of people. So we ask that if called to do so, embody that brave space. It's a safe space for you to open up and say things. So, get a little brave. Be present. Be here. Put everything else outside of the circle, so that you can get the most out of it. And this acronym, WAIT, can be said a couple days. Why am I talking is the first one. So what's the purpose of the words I'm saying? Do my words have purpose, or am I just talking? Because what we are saying today has a very specific purpose. It can also be, why am I not talking? Which would be that brave space thing, yeah. If something comes up that's a really good topic of conversation, everyone's interested in it, but it's a little off topic, we can use what's called the parking lot. We can write it and try to find time to discuss it at another point. So we're having the opening right now, and we're going to have a mindful moment and a moment with Donna. Then we're going to split up into smaller groups. We're going to go over the same 3 questions, discuss it within our small group. You guys have a handout. The handout covers spiritual mind treatment, which is affirmative prayer, which is the way we pray in Centers for Spiritual Living. As Donna mentioned, it's not a begging. It's actually an affirming, because we know we're co-creating with the universe. We're positively affirming that what we see, what we need in our lives is going to happen. So instead of being, please God, do this for me, it's, I affirm that God is everywhere. I affirm that God is part of me. I affirm that God, Spirit, the universe, whatever word you want to use for that power, that it's present everywhere, and that I can ask for this thing, because if it's at its best and highest, it's going to come to me. And I can thank for that and then release it, knowing that the law of mind, that universal mind, that answer already exists. So we can release it knowing that this or something better is going to be coming to us. So those are the basics of the 5 steps, and everybody has this because we've been going over this for this month. Spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer, is what we've been doing. So the last 2 talks have been on this subject, but not everybody was here. So we just want to make sure everybody has one of these to just go over if you need to. Yes. Yes. Does anybody else not have one? Okay, so with that, we're going to take a mindful moment. Donna's going to get us to center. So if you feel so moved, close your eyes. If not, soft gaze.
I recognize the allness of the one that exists in and through all things. It is the dark, it is the light, it's up, it's down, it's inside, outside. It's everything, it's also the nothing. The symbiotic movement of energy that exists everywhere present, all-knowing, all-powerful, ever creating, ever expanding itself. And as I sit here today in this chair, taking this breath, witnessing my own heartbeat, I know that I'm a part of the one, that which is life that moves and has its being inside my body, outside of my body. I know it's true for me, it's true for every other person, every other living thing that exists, that will ever exist. We are all a part of the one, moving and living and having our beingness. And because I know I'm a part of the one, I know that the one that is love, that is wholeness, that is right order, that is symbiotic movement is also me. It is also everyone else today. And as spirit recognizes spirit and spirit speaks to spirit, we contemplate our awakeness. And I'm in gratitude and joy for what unfolds from every single person here, every story, every experience, every joy, every pain. All of it lifting us all together, rising. I'm grateful now for this wonderful day and for many, many days to come. I release it into the law, knowing that fertile soil is always unfolding for the highest and best of each and every one. And so it is.
So it is.
If your body is ringing, I invite you to touch your ears and massage back here into the side where your jaw is. It allows for that movement to move through, and the hurts from the bowls gets intense. Yes, okay. Just to reset yourself. Thank you. Just a little FYI for those who were not here in the past weeks to hear about what we do here as Centers for Spiritual Living. Affirmative prayer is what it's called. As opposed to supplicating to a God that's out there, what we are doing is affirming that we already know what the truth is and lining our vibration up to that. That's why we call it spiritual mind treatment. You're treating your mind so that you may see what's already there. So one of the examples is like electricity. When cavemen were, discovering fire, electricity already existed. They just didn't know how to tap into it yet. Until man started to learn and grow and develop. And now we can tap into that law that is electricity and use it for what we would like. I'm curious to find out how many other laws are out there that we're going to find out in another 1,000,000 years. It'll be interesting. So this is how we do it. The steps of treatment, there's only 5 steps, which is nice. It's nice to remember, are you ready to receive? The RURTR kind of helps you remember the steps. It's interesting because I've tried to do this in other steps, like, flipping around the steps, like start with gratitude and, because I thought, start with gratitude. Yes, it can be effective. However, I found that when I go to recognition first, everything else follows in. It just is natural to get there, all because of this first step. Sometimes it takes forever, though, to get to this first through this first step. This one first and second step. So the first step is recognition. There's one God. There's one energy. Omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. Just one. So if there's everything, you're part of it because you're sitting in everything. That's the unification. God in me as me. It's hard to feel that because it feels like I'm individualized. But it's the human body that's having the experience. That's the individualization. But the little blip that I am, that is God, essence, is the one that's here in this body, looking out these eyes, going, what's up? And it's been here this entire time. And that's why we encourage people to see that in their children. You know, hey, what's up? They may not be able to communicate with us in the way that we communicate, because that's what it is. They communicating, you're just not listening. You know, they speak a different language, the language of vibration and frequency. And then we teach them how to assimilate the 3D world. Unification. It's perfect energy in that tiny little body already. Realizations. So if I'm a part of the bigness that is God, then what is the truth? Because the essence of God is perfection and wholeness and abundance and love and all of that. So if I'm a little tiny bit of that, I can claim that for me. Wholeness, abundance. Even if it's just one cell, one blood vessel. Even if it's just that has that wholeness and perfection, I can claim it for myself. That's where our affirmations come in. And now I can say, well, you know what? Hey, that's kind of cool, thanks. And then you do what? Release it. You let go of the, oh, please help me. You let go of it. Plant the seed, walk away, nurture the soil around it. Remove all that shows up, all those negative thoughts and behaviors that show up. Cultivate a garden of hope and love. Water it. Constantly waiting in expectation, because the soil is going to do it. You don't have to go in there and test the minerals of the soil and all of that. If you put the right conditions, stuff grows. So, right conditions. And you release it. Let go of the attachment, knowing it's already done. And what do? Have you ever bought a car and then suddenly you see that car everywhere? Mm-hmm. Am I the only one that happens to? Especially if it's a weird color, like yellow with stripes. There's another car like mine. It's because your awareness is now lining up to yellow with stripes. And now you see it everywhere. Even in other countries. What in the heck? It's because it's always been there. You just lined up to it. Yeah. So that's where the mind treatment comes in. You're treating your mind so you can line up to the truth. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Wait a minute. There it is. And then you step accordingly. When you know better, you do better. You step accordingly and you step in faith. Because you know better. You know that Spirit's got you. There's nobody bigger than God. I'm sorry. I don't care how much they claim, they're not bigger. Yeah. So you step. Yeah.
And there's I can't remember what page it's on in the handout, but it's called The Treatment in the Fire. Mm-hmm. And Reverend Peggy brought this up last week. Spiritual mind treatment is, we can teach the steps. We can teach how you go about the steps that are proven to be effective. But that fire, that comes within. That comes from within. So it's as effective as the fire you put into it, as the feeling you put into it, as the belief.
It is done unto you as you believe.
Exactly.
It is your faith that made you whole. I mean, all these things that have been said by the great teacher, it's true. So if you believe that, oh, well, this horrible thing can happen, then guess what? That's what you're looking for. So that's what's going to come. You're looking for it every single day, this horrible thing. The invitation is then that if all of possibility exists, because none of us knows what the next breath is, That's the great trick, right? Some of us tap into it just a little bit. Some people are very gifted, man. They really honed in that gift so they can tap into those future moments. But why? The invitation then is to then say, if all of possibility exists, if this possibility can exist, which is the negative possibility that I don't want, can the other possibility exist? Yes. And anything else my brain can come up with. And trust me, my imagination is really good because those intrusive thoughts come in like, whew. So I'm training my mind to start doing the same thing on the other side. Intrusive, wonderful thoughts that come on. Glimmers, I think, is what they're called, right? Hope. That possibility exists. Okay. Why not? And it's that fire. It's that spirit that's what is the fuel behind it. Because without that fuel, the manifestation doesn't come. Thank goodness, because I've had some pretty bad thoughts. And thank goodness I didn't have enough fuel behind it for it to manifest in my world. But I'm a master manifester. I've been proving this teaching over 15 years I've been here. And I keep telling them they'll never get rid of me. Because I have proved this over and over again. And I have found what works. And I'm telling you, what she's talking about, that fire, is the intention. And it's not just the first time intention. Because we have all kinds of thoughts and all kinds of wishes that go out into the universe. It's the thing that you sit down, put paper to, write down, really hit your knees, throw your hands to the universe and say, this is my intention. And when you put that fire behind it, baby, nothing can stop you. And the more you do it, the easier it comes. And then you have to get real careful about your words. Because a master manifester will open their mouth and say something, and it happens. So we are responsible. You're responsible for using the tool and using it well. And this is a wonderful tool.
And part of the thing that Donna mentioned earlier with the tending to your garden afterwards, after you plant the seed, we like to use a phrase, treat and move your feet. Are we going to treat for this and then just wait for it to happen, which is kind of the prayer that a lot of people are used to, is, okay, I know that God's going to make this happen. I leave it in his hands. But with this type of affirmative prayer, it's active. It's movement. We don't just treat it and let it go, because we are God expressing. We are part of the process that's helping that happen. So what can we do in our lives to help that align with what we're asking for? And it's always present tense. That's a big one, because we're not asking for something in the future. We're envisioning it happening right now. And the more you envision that with the more fire, the easier it is to see it show up in your life. You have to, know what you're looking for it to happen, and really feel it, picture it in your head every day. These steps, work them every day, and they do work time and again.
Mm-hmm. And another way of moving your feet, because some people say, I don't know what to do next. If you do a treatment or a prayer about it, moving your feet would be the next thing that comes into your purview. Is this lining up with me? And if the answer is no, it doesn't line up to what I want, then you say, no, thank you, next. And then you keep looking every day, every face, every experience. Is this what I'm asking for? No. No, thank you, move on. Until it says yes. And then you move in that direction. That's how you follow the breadcrumbs. But you have to follow the breadcrumbs. You could sit there all day waiting for it to fall on your head, but it doesn't work that way. You co-create by making decisions along the way.
So what we're going to do is we're going to break up into smaller groups. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 facilitators. Nope. Mm-hmm. Oh, 5 facilitators. I didn't know if you were going to be in the back. No? Okay. All right, so 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to count off to 5, starting with Cody. 4. Yeah. Mm.
No, you're one.
3, 4. Okay. Okay. So we're going to look for spots to kind of separate. Oh, hold up your number if you're a circle lead.
Circle lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you to, but Donna said, oh, David, 4. And you're 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
Number ones is with Norma. Where are you going?
Okay.
Number twos, who's